Some of the best players in the world, such as Tommy Fleetwood and Rory McIlroy, have been using this incredible training aid called the Pro Sendr. The Pro Sendr allows you, it's said that it allows you to get that great compression onto the golf ball with your irons to improve the overall strike, distance, direction, you name it. In this video, we're going to be diving into how this product in particular could help you improve your overall golf game and get that ball then turf interaction just like the pros do every single time without fail. So when we have a look at the Pro Sendr, how it works is we take this and place it onto our trail hand. For me, being a right-handed player in particular, being the trail hand like so. I'm going to wrap it round like this here. So there should be a point where I should just allow my right wrist here to extend and hinge like so to cover this gap in between my right hand and the training aid. What this allows me to do straight away when I take hold of the golf club and set it at impact is to get those hands working beautifully ahead of that club face, as opposed to what I see a lot of golfers do in particular, where they get those hands working behind the club as we make a way to hit the golf ball. And you can see if I just do this from this camera angle here, it's no good. We get this separation between the right hand and the Pro Sendr training aid. So I've had a couple of my students using this and we've noticed a massive difference when trying this set drill. So you'll watch Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, they'll work this in steps and then start to build this up into all-in-one motion swing. So how I've liked to use this with students is when we take the club all the way up to the top of the swing, we just want to set it so we're allowing this trail hand of ours just to rest onto the training aid here just to cover the gap. At the address position, it's absolutely fine seeing this gap like we usually would, but when we get to the very top of our swing, we want to ensure our hand, our right hand in particular, trail hand, is set resting onto this training aid here, and that's going to make things much easier then to bring in this downswing, because what we see from the top usually is this very much so cupped lead wrist angle. So a cupped lead wrist angle, if I was just to bring the club down now, opens the club face way too much. So when we come into impact and try and get those hips firing first, hands staying ahead, we've got no chance of hitting that golf ball because the leading edge of the club and the hosel of the club are leading the race to hit the golf ball. So we see those golfers try and jump out the way and then end up hitting that massive push slice, or they get the hands involved, get this separation between this training aid here and the right hand, and we see them go way too far to the left, and the strike, as you can imagine, becomes very inconsistent. So let's get it up to the top here and just make sure this right hand is resting on the training aid, almost like our right hand, our right palm in particular, is pointing towards the sky. So for stage 2 here is just working our way back down into the downswing. Too many golfers, when they try this, they'll end up just opening that club face a little bit more and seeing the logo on their glove point away from them. And we want this logo on the glove to point more towards the ground, more towards the golf ball. And you can see the difference this has here already as I just twist my wrist either side. Taking the right hand on now, twisting the wrist this way, it makes it so much easier to keep that right hand resting against the training aid as opposed to getting this angle here, which is no good. Once we make our way up to the top, we're going to be getting into this set position here, where we're just holding the angle from the very top of the swing down into this point here. And we can see there, that's helping us get those hands working ahead of the club, working all the way through and trying to hold this position throughout the swing. Tommy Fleetwood's a great example of his 3/4 sawn off swings, holding it off, trying to keep this right hand in particular in that extended position at impact, keeping it nice and hinged to get the hands working ahead. So the 3 stages, working it up to the top, setting it for 2, and then working our way through for 3 and trying to hold that angle. And once you begin to get used to doing this motion, it'll feel very weird at first because your right palm will be pointing towards the ground, which has a massive difference on where the club face is pointing. So now and again, you might end up just releasing the club a little bit early, and then you see them go a little bit too far left. So it's really important that when you get into this set position here, that we're holding this angle and just simply rotating through. The right hand and the Pro Sendr are keeping this nice and tight motion throughout that swing. Now, building this up into full swings, once you've had a couple of shots doing this in stages, we can just get it straight to the top, feel that motion down, and finish with that sawn off follow through for 3 as we begin to build that speed. That felt really solid, nice little draw, just like Fleetwood does. Where's that finishing? Pretty good shot, pin high, 190 yards, a little bit downhill, 7-9. I'll definitely take that indeed. So that one literally to me felt like I was just setting the wrist up to the top of the swing, almost like I'm getting my right palm to face towards the ceiling, right palm to ground, holding that right palm through, pushing that right palm through to the target. That's another great and easy drill that you can do simply indoors like this here or at home, just to help you get that feel, that sensation of how this movement should feel on that downswing. So bringing in an example now. So I've got Alex down here with me from Golf Swing Systems. We're actually at their fantastic facility down south in Cranley, and we're going to be testing the Pro Sendr with you, just because we've noticed from a few videos that you have that tendency of getting the wrist too involved and getting that pretty much extension that we see so often in that lead wrist of ours. So let's see if we can get it more bowed, more compressed, to see if we can hit some better golf shots. Okay. So what we noticed with Alex was that on the videos that you can see right now is that through impact, the club was getting a little bit too far ahead of the hands at impact. So this here is brilliant for you. If we just make our way up to the top of the swing, we want to be ensuring that as we make our way up to the top, that your right hand is resting onto this training aid. That's it. And then from here, as we make our way down for 2, that's it there. So setting in that angle, covering the gap between the training aid, the Pro Sendr, and the right hand. I'm just going to rotate through for 3 and just try and hold that angle as much as we can with the club. So let's start off with just hitting 1 or 2 shots, just doing that motion. That's it. Nice. That definitely sounded a lot more compressed, didn't it?
Might go in.
That was a great shot. Close to mine, that one.
Done. Cool. Bye. There you go.
So another thing that you've struggled with in the past is getting that sort of over the top move, isn't it?
Yeah,
Would
a little
you say
bit.
that's more from the wrist angles going that way, or
potentially? I think I think the wrist angles come from me. So I tend, my natural tendency is to come quite inside.
Yeah.
And then have to almost reroute and almost like cover drive it to keep the club going through relatively neutral. And I think that's developed from that. So now that I'm coming in from a bit better of a position, because I've got my sort of my backswing on plane, because I'm coming from a better position now, when my sort of, my lead wrist goes, my trail wrist starts to make up for that. Yeah. And it's costing me distance, but also it's causing a bit of a big right miss if I mistime it.
Okay, and would you say that's more popular with the driver than anything else?
Definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's probably because obviously we get that wrist angle a little bit too extended, but on the way down, those hands, what you've just described is pretty much where those hands get almost dragged in too close, and then you have to try and make up the room afterwards. Well, a great training aid that we can actually use is something called the swing plate, and you've come across this before, obviously, and I've used this in quite a lot of my videos in the past. Well, what we're going to do is place it pretty much just on this angle here. I'm going to bring it a bit closer to you. So if you just move the ball a bit further forward towards the net, although that'll say
that's okay, it's fine there.
The error. Is that good there?
Yeah, that's fine there.
Just so you can see this from this camera angle. The idea is for you in particular, someone that struggles with starting off the swing on the inside and probably getting that rolling of the wrists, causing that extension to take place.
Definitely.
We want you setting the club slightly more on the outside, and then making a way up to the top. That's it. So take it just to here for stage 1. That's it. Then working our way up for 2. And the feeling from here now is you've got to try and hold the body here, delay this body turn of yours. Really push the hands down. And can you feel how although you're stopping the body turn, it's allowing you to really push your hands almost further away from you? So that's allowing you to create the room needed just to rotate from this angle. That's it. So the more we can set it that way at the top, the more we can get lower and push the hands down. That's really going to help you keep those arms nice and extended through impact.
So would you recommend people starting with sort of half swings on this?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely.
And that kind of thing, because
so
definitely that takeaway is going to feel a little bit outside for me.
Yeah, I would recommend working it all the way up to the top in 1, because that's fairly simple and easy to do, as weird as it feels. Then for 2, you're making your way down to that second position. Just no movement whatsoever from the lower body, straight to here, and then we're rotating through for 3.
Okay, so to the top.
That's it. And then getting
Dropping
it under, good. and then rotating through. Okay, so I'm going to move this now a little bit further away.
Okay. Will that make it easier or harder?
It's going to make it a little bit easier, but obviously it's still going to be there if you do it ever so slightly out of sync. So just work your way up to the top, nice and smooth. Great effort.
Nearly.
So I'd still recommend doing it in those stages as opposed to all in one motion. So it's going to be like 1 to the top, 2 there, then hit.
Okay.
Just a quick shout out to GX Golf. They provide high quality golf clubs for a fraction of the price. Using my discount code below Harry10, you can get yourself a great 10% discount. I'd highly recommend you check them out. That's it.
Top.
There.
See that.
Nice, that's it.
Do I have to be worried about the ball going at 45 degrees?
No, that should happen just to begin with.
Okay.
So what we notice now, you're able to set the club in that position, but have a look at where the club face is here. It's pointing towards this side.
Right.
We've got to try and get that club face pointing at the ground.
Okay.
So really exaggerate on the way down, that right palm going towards the ground. That's it, yeah. So if you work your way up to the top for 1 and just stop, that's it, hold it there. It's going to be more that way. That's it, yeah. Now we're really hooding the face, and then it's just holding that angle on the way through. Perfect, yeah. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Tricky, isn't it?
God, it's tough, I tell you what. It's humbling. For sure, I thought I could hit a golf ball before today.
But look how much more room you're creating just
Yeah.
from doing that in stages there, just on the video. That's allowing you to set the club in a great position, and then from there you can just rotate.
Okay.
It's tricky to get the strike just because you're not used to coming from the inside. That's it. Lovely, well done. Really good.
Okay.
So ideally, when you're practicing this at the driving range, what you want to see is the ball start a little bit to the right, just
draw
because
back.
we're forcing, the swing direction to be that way from the in to out motion, but to draw back, just because we want to be holding that face.
So.
Awesome, awesome, really good.
A bit better?
Yeah, excellent.
Starting to see that draw as well.
Yeah. Right, we'll move the swing play out of the way now, just because you've got the feeling of the club working more on the inside and pushing those hands down.
Would you expect to see, so obviously you can see on the B-roll there, a bit of a toe strike.
Yeah.
Would that be, is that because I'm sort of changing the plane of the club
Definitely,
so much?
yeah, because you're bringing the hands much closer to you. On those stages, it's absolutely fine to start to feel those toe strikes. What you don't necessarily want is those heel strikes really to take place. That's it. Really exaggerating that move. So it's going to really force both your arms to extend, isn't it, here? Rather than drag them too close. That's it, yeah. Really good. Okay. Let's
Trying
see
to do it in one movement or?
One more in the stages,
Okay.
and then we'll see it all in one movement. Good.
Difficult.
Really
I feel
good.
like I'm because you're exaggerating that sort of extension of your arms.
Yeah.
I think because I'm used to sort of almost
Yeah.
bending that lead elbow, it's probably going to change my low point quite a lot.
Yeah, it will.
Which is interesting.
How was that one?
It was okay. I think I got a little bit scoopy. We'll see on the video there.
Let's have a look.
I felt like I lost connection with the Pro Sendr at the end.
So great on the downswing there, and then, just losing that connection.
So I just need to hold that
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
longer and turn.
So on the way through, just as you were doing those practice swings, there's no harm in you making a full swing and trying to stop there.
Yeah.
Literally like you're just going to finish off a low chip shot. Just to really exaggerate.
Little Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, exactly. So try and make a shortened version of that Tommy Fleetwood finish. Okay, I'm going to be really harsh on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to use the stick. I'm going to place it here.
Okay.
Your job is to try and stop before the club hits that stick.
Sure. Okay.
Ideally with the hands staying.
Ideally without shanking it into your foot.
Yeah, I'll stand here. There we go. So working it all in state. Nice. That's better. What's crazy there is that felt like you were going to stop here.
Yeah.
Up here, won't we?
Yeah.
So let's try one more and see if you can really stop at that point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the feel. Good. All in one motion. Nice. There we go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, really good. Better. Still a little bit at the end, which is normal. You know, you want to see that, but there's no harm in making literally swings just for the time being, where you'll just get to the very top and literally try and stop here, and then you can build that up, literally still stopping to that point where you just make faster swings and just trying to hold that position, because the more you get used to this at speed, the better it is, because you're going to be able to apply more speed, and therefore you're
well, you can see Tommy moving swing. Yeah, he's swinging his 7-iron around 93, 94 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He never goes past there, does he?
No.
And it's so controlled.
Certainly one to copy. Nice. Really nice. Oh, come on. Let's finish on that one then.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Closest shot of the lot, I think, that one. That's it, yeah. Just like what I mentioned before. Right palm working down.
Yeah.
Pushing the right palm through to finish. So if you're someone that's looking for a great training aid that's very easy to use to put on to help you get that consistent strike, just like Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy does, and plenty, if not all the tour players do, I'd highly recommend checking this out. The links will be in the description below. Massive thank you to Alex for joining us and Golf Swing Systems for bringing me down and hosting this great video. Cool. So let's bring on the next one.
Yeah, I've got to work hard on this, I think.